Hey everybody, welcome to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. I'm Matt.
And I am, what am I? I'm Jeff.
We have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Evan Coppage from Country Boy Brewing in Lexington, Kentucky. How are you, sir?
Doing great today.
We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about your brewery. You guys are kind of one of the, I don't know, I guess, can we call them OGs in craft beer? In Lexington, yeah. You're one of the, I guess, technically older breweries in Lexington, even though we got like a fledgling scene or whatever. But
4 years.
Yeah, you guys
4 years running.
Yeah, good things.
Almost 5, right?
Yeah, well, I'd go with like the little kid count and do 4.5.
4 3/4. Yeah.
It feels just like...
You gotta do it in months.
It feels like it was only yesterday that there was the jukebox inside and you could hang out and play music for free, and those days are gone. You know what I'm talking about? You know about the jukebox?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We had a couple libations spilled on the jukebox, and we had it kind of like thrust against the wall a couple times.
Did it die?
My brother, we had to repair it, but it's at my brother's house.
Okay. Does it still work?
Yeah, he got it working again.
That's awesome. Well, we got lots of good things to talk about: sour beers and collaborations, and pepper beers that lit my butthole up. But before we get into that, actually, I don't even know. I was gonna lead in with something, and I don't can say it. So let's just start talking about beers.
Yeah, just talk about Evan. What are you drinking these days?
So I kind of gravitate between two different things. I'm a huge hophead, so I drink a lot of our hoppy beer, and I try a lot of hoppy beers of other breweries out there that are well known or well acclaimed for their hoppy beers. I was at Wicked Weed 2 or 3 weekends ago, and I love their Pernicious.
Pernicious is nice.
A lot of people go crazy about the Freak. I prefer the Pernicious.
Oh, really? Okay.
I just like more like the kind of like the dank and tropical hop flavors over like the super citrus, like the Centennial, all that thing. I mean, they're really good, and that's a really classic beer style that probably the majority of hop lovers like. But I'm big into like the dank and like mango tropical stuff.
Yeah, their stuff's really balanced too. I remember going before they even had like a sour program.
I don't know if I'd call it balanced. It's hop forward, but that's what I was looking for.
Well, they had a about 4 or 5 years ago, I went before they had the Funkatorium and stuff like that, and they had a sour brown. And this is, I guess, really before sours were even popular. And I was like, oh man, I didn't know a sour could taste this good. And so the first good sour I had was actually Wicked Weed. And their sours now are really good, but they're even kind of light on the lighter end of sour.
We're putting out so many.
Yeah, and they're all very approachable. They're not punch you in the face. Now some of their hoppier beers are very, I guess, audacious, but they're
right. Those guys really come from Dogfish Head, right?
No.
I thought they worked over there first before they came down and did Wicked Weed.
I mean, I may be wrong, but this is what I heard. I heard that Luke and Walt were homebrewers in Chattanooga, and basically they wanted to start a brewery, and they approached I think it's the Gunthers or something like that. It's like I don't remember if it's Maybelline or Pantene Pro-V. It's one of the face cream company.
Maybelline. That's the way to get into craft beer is makeup nowadays. Yeah.
But I mean, they just needed a financial backer.
Yeah.
And obviously it worked out well. Whatever pairing they came up with.
So Maybelline is the backer.
I don't know. I just know it's one of the.
I didn't know that.
Let's start that trend right now.
One of the facial products.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna start that hashtag. Wicked Weed by Maybelline.
But what Wicked Weed is so great too because they introduced basically they didn't introduce the brew pub so much, but they brought a certain kind of brew pub to Asheville, which really didn't exist. You had Asheville Pizza, and I think Lexington Avenue may have already existed, but there was nothing like Wicked Weed before they opened it, and then the basement, and then eventually the Funkatorium and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're kind of, I guess, when you think of beer in Asheville, they're kind of like the central coast.
They hit it right off the bat.
Yeah, and they're still expanding. Gosh, they're getting so big. They got 18 facilities now?
No, I think they have 4.
Oh, is it just 4? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. There's a new one every week. I can't keep up with them. But yeah, man, they're doing good stuff. So in Lexington, in town here, I gotta ask you. Obviously, you're a little partial to Country Boy for whatever reason. What other kind of local beers do you like?
I think we have a really good beer scene. I haven't had a chance in the last 2 months, at least, to go to a lot of the other breweries, but we have a good working relationship with a lot of the breweries.
Yeah.
We'll share beers, and we have, limited releases. I know just last weekend, Andy from one of the brewers at West 6, he brought us a bottle of their Flanders Red. I haven't had to crack it open yet, but so we have a good relationship, and we split, share beers or trade beers back and forth with each other. And sometimes if I get a chance, I'll try to, if it's bike weather, I'll try to bike around from every brewery in town. Now, it'll be interesting trying to include Life on my bike tour. But I have been to Nathan's place over at Life a couple times.
Yeah. Did you work? You didn't work with him, did you?
So Nathan and I, Nathan Harrison and I, we work together at Brewing and Distilling Analytical Services under Gary Spedding. It's a alcoholic beverage analytical laboratory. They do, everything. They do like spirits, wine coolers, beer. Like we'd get whoever makes buzz balls would send in stuff and make sure that it's the right alcohol and the right calorie content.
My mom gave me one of those once. I think it's still in the fridge.
They're awful.
Is it bad?
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that's what they pay you for when you're over there, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, we don't drink stuff when we're at the lab. We just sample stuff, and we would smell stuff or taste stuff like a bartender would, where you just put a straw in and then pull something out.
Oh, so you don't actually get like shot glasses?
No. I mean, technically, anything you send to like an analytical lab like that, a lot of times they're sending in because they're suspect that something is wrong with their beer, and so like even if someone samples it that works for the lab and then they put their opinion out there to someone else, they don't want them to taste a product that they don't think is their top of the line, which is maybe the reason why they're sending it in.
Yeah.
And they can't afford their own lab, so they send it out.
Yeah, not yet anyway. They're not at a process large enough where they can own a $50,000 piece of equipment or whatever it is.
Not every brewery can have its own lab.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It takes a long time when it's worth it for yourself,
Have you guys set up a lab?
We have. I mean, we don't have like a full lab, but we do things that, we don't do like spectral analysis. We don't do like color and photospectrometry and stuff like that. But we can monitor IBU. We can monitor pH. We can check for growth on things. I have an automated cell counter, which I can do my cell counts for my yeast pitching rates and stuff like that. And so, we have a good amount of equipment, but we don't have anything compared to like Bell's or Sierra Nevada or something like that.
Of course.
New Belgium, where you just were recently.
Yeah.
They probably have state of the art.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have full-time employees that are chemists that have worked even in the brewing industry before.
So you travel quite a bit for beer, or just whenever you can? We've talked about Asheville and New Belgium already for you.
Yeah, so I chose just Asheville not long ago with my girlfriend and my brother, who's also a business partner of Country Boy.
I think I saw some pictures online.
So we all took a trip there. We just had a free weekend, and we tried to hit as much as we could.
It's
we
not
had
that
a great
far
time.
either. Yeah,
No.
it's
4 hours.
Convenient.
It wasn't bad at all.
It's a great drive.
Yeah, that's
right
cool.
through the mountains.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing some traveling to Indiana also for a new collab that's coming up really soon, right?
Yeah. So we have it's a sour collaboration. So it's a sour beer that we didn't really brew it in tandem. We blended it in tandem with Upland Brewing Company in Bloomington, Indiana. And so originally Caleb Stanton, who's basically their sour ale brewmaster, he contacted us and wanted to reach out and knew that we had a sour program because we had participated in their, I think it's called their Funk Fest or their Sour Festival last year and this year and the year before, and he just wanted to see if we wanted to collaborate on something, an idea, and so he came down and we basically pulled samples from all of my barrels and tried stuff that I'd already released maybe on draft or something like that, and we kind of got some ideas, and we really wanted to do a fruited sour because I think Upland I really feel like they kind of lead the field and predated a lot of sour production beer in this area of the United States, as well as re-fermenting on fruit. Yeah. And so we really wanted to do that and kind of use their knowledge and their experience with re-fermenting like fruit with sour beer and all the yeast and bacteria that are alive in the sour beer to actually re-ferment the fruit. And so we came up with a couple ideas. At first, we wanted to trade my beer and their beer back and forth, but I mean, just with all the red tape, with trading untaxed beer across state lines, there wasn't a legal way we could do that. And so what we ended up doing is we just made the idea that they would come to our place, taste a lot of our different, brands and our, and make a blend from what we had and pick, a fruit to put that on and determine a ratio of the fruit, that they're putting that blend on. And then we did the same thing at their facility as well. Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting concept. They took existing beer that we have and they blended it to their specs, and we went and if the existing beer they had and blended it to our specs.
Yeah, and I think that's just that idea, that concept is a lot more prominent nowadays, not just in beer, but everything. Like, even like music culture and stuff, people actually collaborating online for a lot of respects, because you can share almost everything. Obviously, there's some tangibles that you can't literally share online, but you know, you can do most of your ideals
There are a
across.
lot of collaborations, just recipe swapping.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They don't actually physically go to, or some do, but
That's,
not everyone
that's almost
does.
every McCullough collaboration.
Yeah,
right, well, it has to
exactly
be.
right. Yeah.
Now, have y'all done a lot of blending before this?
So we've done just a couple batches. So we blended one of our anniversary beers. The Wild Red was a blend, and then we did another Wild Red that's actually, I think, on draft right now.
The Living Proof?
Yeah, the Living Proof
Yeah.
Wild Red, which is a similar blend to the anniversary beer with some stock, but basically a different blend. And it does taste slightly different, but it has some of the same components. And then some of our Living Proof Golden Wild Ale, which is just our base golden sour, is a blend of some different batches or different ages of the same beer with the same yeast and the same microbes. So, you know.
Because there's a real art to this process, right, of blending.
Of course, yeah.
From winemaking and distilling. And some brewers, like, I don't know, you know, Casey, that's just all he does is
Just
I think, is
blending.
blend, right? He doesn't actually produce the wort. Oh, yeah, Firestone Walker known
Yeah.
for all their blending. So
And they get all they have like a lottery where winery owners and people who work at wineries like get in a lottery to get drawn to choose their grand cru for the year. 'Cause
Really?
They do like a 50+ person tasting event,
Really.
and they used to just not have to cut people off, but now there's so many people they just
Yeah,
they
exactly.
got to do a lottery for it.
have you thought about doing like a heavier blend? So like a Firestone Walker style where you bring stouts and barley
You mean like
wines?
not a sour?
Not a
like,
sour.
Like some
We
other-
don't have a lot of stock for that right
Just
now.
can't do
We were trying to leave, I guess, like some of our clean beer in barrels longer than we should have. We were running into some issues with that, and so now we're not trying to age some of those things as long. So we don't have as much stock of clean beer or basically bigger clean beer in barrels anymore. We try to keep beer in the barrels probably anywhere from like 4 to 5 months,
Yeah.
or something like that. And I think you can get a good, whatever the residual spirit flavor is, as well as like the oak flavor from the barrels.
Yeah.
So right now we're using primarily, just bourbon, and then rum barrels, which the rum barrels are bourbon barrels that had a rum product in them
course, yeah.
last. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, because most rum barrels you get out there leak like a sieve.
Yeah.
They have like 3 different bung holes in them, and some of them are on the barrel head. And
I knew a girl
doesn't
like that in
get a
college,
seal.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were, and if you're just tuning in, you're listening to 93.9
Seven.
FM 9.
No.
She was wearing that shirt earlier, and it threw me
Wait, no, we
off.
are 93.9.
Okay, we are
Yeah,
93.9. Well, then stop contradicting me. Go home.
We've only been doing this show
WLSU
for like
FM.
2
Yeah,
months.
you're listening to
We're experts.
COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. We got Evan Coppage from Country Boy Brewing with us, and we're talking about upcoming collab
I mean,
with
collabs
Upland.
are a very popular thing to do. A lot of breweries like to get. I mean, is it good for a brand to collab? Is it good just for the spirit of working with someone? You guys, probably your third at least collab, maybe.
We do. So we've had a couple collabs, and all of them have been very useful and very important as far as just trading ideas with other breweries. I don't think about things and look at things from the marketing perspective probably as much as my other owners do. I look at things as like, what do I have to learn from this brewer or from some of their processes. And
Yeah.
so, that this with Upland, where, our sour program's in its fledgling stage, and, theirs is more than 10 years old. There's like the world that I learned from them,
Yeah.
And I still have a million questions,
Yeah.
that's the whole fun of the, wild and,
Yeah. That's cool. That's
spontaneous
how you-
fermentation is,
Yeah.
once you put it in the wood, you have no control.
Yeah. That's how you grow, and that's how you learn new things and stuff like that too. So I want to talk about the actual beer, though. We tried some really good, so I'm excited for this to come out. Do you want to take a little respite here, or do you have anything queued up?
Yeah, let me just redo this.
We're obviously so
So
professional.
we're very
here.
professional and technical. All our
Welcome back to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky on 93.9. I'm Matt.
Jeff who just banged his glasses into the microphone.
And we're here with Evan Coppage from Country Boy Brewing, talking about some of the collaborations and some of the beers that we have on tap. And we've been talking about one in particular you have coming up very soon, a collaboration with Upland out of, where in Indiana?
They're in Bloomington.
Bloomington,
They have
Indiana.
a basketball team up there. I haven't heard of them much.
I don't know.
That's where I got my BA.
We
Awesome.
How are you? How are you alone?
we were talking a little bit beforehand about Upland and sours, and we were saying how, and early stages, some of their sours were unforgiving, but they've really kind of dialed it in now, and a lot of their stuff is very, very palatable, very good, very popular. And this one that you guys are putting together with them, or have put together with them, we were saying earlier you gave us a taste, and it was very pleasantly surprised. Talk about that beer.
So, so what we did is basically they came and tried a bunch of our base beers like we had talked about earlier, and they chose 2 of my dark sours. One was kind of like an Old Bruin. It was a very dark, very chocolatey based beer that was very sour, but it still had a little bit of sweetness to back it up. So it was a very like balanced beer. And then I guess they chose also to blend it with another brown ale that was a little bit thinner in body, but it really had that cherry pie sourness to it.
Yeah.
And they chose to blend those two together, I guess 50%, 25%.
Something like that, yeah.
2 to 1 basically, and then age it on 3 pounds per gallon strawberries, which is kind of like their MO.
Okay.
Is about 3 pounds per gallon on fruit, and we had fresh strawberries that we bought from basically a local farmer in Georgetown, Kentucky.
Okay.
And he sold us 1,000 pounds. It was the same stock that we got strawberries to make our strawberry saison.
Yeah.
For strawberry saison, we didn't let it re-ferment. We just kind of infused it on the strawberries, so it still had some of that sugar pickup and it may re-ferment a little bit in bottles. But this one we're actually re-fermenting 100% of it. And it's actually been in the last month. It's already re-fermented most of the sugars out, and then over the next 2 months it'll probably really dwindle those sugars down and pick up their acidity, but also dry out the beer, and all kinds of chocolate flavors will pop. And the beer kind of smells like a strawberry fruit roll up to me.
Yeah.
But in a real strawberry way, not that.
Yeah, I actually got some of that when you first poured it. Very excited. Have you guys come up with a name for it?
So we had a name. It was like Upcountry Funk. We were trying to do something with with Upland and with the brewery, but also saying that it's not a clean beer, it's a sour beer.
Yeah.
But then Terrapin and Coors division bought out a brewery in Asheville and decided they were going to rebrand that brewery and name it Upcountry Funk.
Okay.
It was already an Upcountry.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. Big beer never sues anybody, so I wouldn't worry about
You
that.
can't call it Up Boy, and you can't call it
We decided
Countryland.
Countryland.
That's not great.
So I think
You could call it Boyland. Wait a minute.
No,
I'm trying to.
Won't work
I may have the name wrong, but it's ridiculous and it's 4 words, and my brother Nathan loved it. It's like Uptown or Funk Country Shuffle something. Up Funk Country Shuffle.
You gotta watch that Uptown Funk, or you get sued for that too.
Well,
Bruno
that's,
Mars,
that's a playoff of that, I assume.
Yeah, I think so.
That was a play.
Yeah.
But when they were here blending, did you yell at them about why they distribute to Northern Kentucky and Louisville, and for some reason they don't distribute here, and even Frankfurt is not too.
We had asked them about that because when we finish our collaborations, we want to have I guess an event at either site where we go there that day and we have both sours pouring, and then they come here one day and we have both sours pouring.
Yeah.
And I think that they're trying to. Don't quote this on me because this is their business, not mine. But I think they're trying to come to this area.
Okay.
Because you guys are in Indiana, so it's easier for you to go there.
Well, technically, we're with a really small distributor in Indiana because we don't have a whole lot of extra beers in Indiana. So it really helps us just to get into festivals in Bloomington, Indianapolis, and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
I've seen Country Boy in West Lafayette cans.
Yeah, and I think they're just trying to find out who the right player is to represent their brand here in this area. So.
But the beer will be packaged.
Right.
Yeah, we will package it. We'll also have draft
750s?
tap rooms. Yeah, I think we'll do 750s. They have a couple different bottle sizes, so I don't know what they'll do.
There seems to be more of a move now, more and more to 375, 500. I don't know if you saw Blackberry Farm just moved down to 375.
Did they really? I didn't know that. There's still 750s on the shelf right now.
prefer-
But the 2 new ones that came out, the cream and the I forget what the other one's called, were both 375.
Was it the brown? The
Blackberry, maybe it was
or Blackberry Rye or
maybe
something?
Blackberry Rye and cream
Yeah.
were both 375.
Okay. I didn't.
There's more. I mean, there's more profit obviously off of 375 at almost the same price as the 750.
There's more profit, but you're also the thing is when you're doing the really nice thick glassware, or not the glassware, but the bottles for like sour beers, because they may re-ferment and have a lot of pressure on them. That glassware is like $1 a glass, like at least.
Yeah.
So you got to think where you're cutting your margins with the glassware, alone.
Yeah.
But I prefer the 500 milliliters a lot.
Yeah.
Whether I'm drinking it with all by myself or whether I'm splitting with someone else. Because I think if I'm splitting a 375, like we hardly have anything.
Yeah,
But
that's
if I
true.
split like a 500, we both have a good amount. Or if I want to drink it on my own, I'm not like hurting myself.
That's what Prairie did, right? They went down. They started at 750, and now most of those Prairies are 500 milliliters. Except not like Bomb or anything like that. The other ones, the Mosaics, the final Mosaics, they're all 500 milliliter.
I'm good either way. I actually only drink by myself, and I'd be fine if you went to 1,000 milliliters.
You like the Magnums?
Yeah, I'll do the Magnums or the 3 liters or whatever. The novelty beer.
That's
The giant bottles.
The Anchor Magnum, you drink that?
sounds like
I'll do that.
That sounds like you're using some of DH's logic. One of his
Bigger bottle.
his initial logic with the wife was like he'd open a growler, he'd be like, "What's gonna go bad? I gotta drink the whole thing."
It's like when I was in
You can't put it
Alabama.
back. Oh, yeah.
I was in Alabama. I went to some podunk bottle shop, and the guy had it on draft. And I was staying at a hotel for the week with my family, and I was like, "You guys do growlers?" And he's like, "Oh man, don't even." I was like, "I left my growler back at the hotel." He's, "Don't even worry about it, man. We got jugs down here." And he comes out with a half-gallon milk jug. Like literally, like he poured the milk out and like rinsed it and gave me the milk jug. And I was like, "Is this like legal and or sanitary?" He's like, "Just drink it. Don't even worry about it, man. Just pay the bill." But
I think that would work with Country Boy having milk jug.
well, obviously milk jugs aren't
I
the
filled them up
greatest at
before.
holding in carbonation, so it's like I got to drink the whole half-gallon of steak handler, or else it's gonna go bad.
That Country Boy experience would be to get a milk jug.
Yeah, I always thought like years ago y'all should have done like mason jars.
Well,
Instead of pint glasses.
we
And
really
they double as
we really looked at
growlers.
doing the mason jars. I think that one of the reasons we didn't, and is because I think Kentucky Ale beat us to the punch with one of their Pro-Am beers. When they did the Pro-Am beer release, I think it was like a Citra Amber. And they did like the pint glass release. It was a mason jar. We were like full bore, ready.
still do it?
I don't even
ready
remember
to
that.
do it?
ready to open. I'm not like a brand manager.
There was
so
there was
I'll
one
find
country western glass that was a mason jar.
Yeah.
We have one of those.
Here's what I think you need to do. Well, because the mason jars, if you get the ones with the lip even, so you kind of get some sensory experience there too, because it retains aroma. But you double that as packaged beer too. So instead of a growler, you just do 4 mason jars in a 4-pack, and then you just buy one glass and you get.
That won't hold it in though.
Huh? Yeah, they got the rubber seal on it too. Yeah, that's what the whole concept behind a mason jar is to keep it.
The original growler was just a big bucket.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when they're brewing out of the garage?
No, like when
That's where
growlers.
the name came from.
Yeah, we're first
Oh, you're
introduced.
talking about. Okay, I'm sorry.
People take a bucket to the brewery and fill it up.
Yeah, so they're made with aluminum, and I guess the carbonation and CO2 coming out of the beer would like react to the aluminum and make it growl, and that's why it's called growler.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Or you can go back to that. Or a milk jug. I know a guy. If you need milk jugs.
Drape a rag across the top, and the fruit flies out. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's people do that. Whatever. So you got a really exciting beer coming out very soon. When's it gonna come out? Do you?
I don't know exactly. It all depends on because we're going to try to have our releases near the same time with Upland, so obviously we have to work with it on. We haven't, I guess, solidified a release date. We have at least 2 more months of fermentation on the strawberries. Then we'll drop the strawberries off. Whatever's left of them, and then we'll package it, and then we'll kind of figure out.
Okay. So we got
The good thing for me is that I don't have to worry about when stuff gets released. I just have to make sure the beer's ready.
Just make sure it's good and tasty. So do you all have any? We were kind of talking a little bit about you've been visiting a lot of places and having. And I guess I don't think you said you did. You don't have any plans for any other collaborations or anything coming up anytime soon?
I got a bunch of friends in the brewing community, and there's a couple of us out there that know and say we have a collaboration idea in mind. We just haven't really.
Yeah.
None of us have had time to really just iron out the details and get it going.
Yeah.
You gotta fit it in your production schedule.
Like right now, we're trying to brew as fast as we can and as much as we can until our new brewery opens in Georgetown, because we came to the realization that the tap room in Georgetown is going to open before the brewery does.
Oh boy.
So now we got to make extra beer for another tap room.
Oh wow. Okay.
Until the brewery comes up, and so we got to figure out how to
The
do
tap
that.
room's what about it? Almost a year away, or is it less?
No, well, right now we're shooting for sometime in December or January.
December.
Okay, that's real soon.
And I mean, none of this is 100% official yet. DH is the one that's going to make the call on all this. 'cause he's the
We're just gonna spread
first
rumors
in.
until then.
Yeah.
It's open tomorrow. Everyone go there right
Yeah,
now.
go there right now. Start banging on the door.
There's no door. You can walk right there.
It's wide open. Where's the beer?
Just don't scrap anything. we need all the metal framing. Basically,
Nothing is copper. Leave it alone.
yeah, it's all toxic.
Yeah.
Pick up.
I hope you're using asbestos because I heard that's the newest material people should use in their breweries, right?
I don't know.
Well, that joke just fell flat. That was terrible.
I think Judy can.
That was pretty bad.
That was
Asbestos.
I took a lot of that out of my house and just threw it away.
Yeah, so the
Judy
Georgetown-
used it. We claimed asbestos. That's the new
You
thing.
guys gonna have bathrooms?
Asbestos.
Are there going to be any bathrooms there?
Of course.
Asbestos.
1, 2, 3.
I think there's going to be more bathrooms in our facility.
I hope there's more than one toilet for the men.
I think when we first opened up and built all those bathrooms, we were on a shoestring budget and we had no clue that.
Maybe a non-leaky
we would
toilet?
Hey,
I never really thought it was that bad of an issue. I know you
always leaking.
So I don't know if it still is, but for a while they kept trying to fix it, And finally I went in there and looked at it, and there was like a hairline crack up the base of the toilet. I'm like, well, this is why. This is why it's leaking. But I mean, obviously we should have put in a commercial toilet that doesn't have the bowl.
But instead we used duct tape.
You don't know how many people shove stuff in the back of the bowl.
There was a thing
They wanna do
at
that.
another brewery in town where they had taped off the urinal for a long time because people were just making a mess of it. It wasn't broken. They just said, forget it, make them pee in the toilet. No more peeing in
Are
the
you
toilet.
talking about
That sounds like worse of a mess. No, we don't have a urinal.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think that a urinal would be cleaner than a toilet.
Do you guys used to have a urinal?
Like, we never did. I mean, you know,
thought you
maybe
did.
somebody thought we did.
I thought the floor was the urinal.
Yeah.
But just to shift or do you want to keep?
No, I was going to say, you're listening to 93.9 WLXU, COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. And we got Evan Coppage talking about bathrooms.
Yeah. Maybe you want to talk a little about your new toy you got over there in the brewery?
Yeah, so I ordered it.
And how do you pronounce that?
It's
foudre?
It's foudre. It's
foudre.
So it's not a drinker. It's a foudre.
Yeah.
So it's a Belgian or French word, so obviously you don't pronounce all the letters.
There's only 3 letters you pronounce.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it food?
Which is interesting. They actually pronounce the last 2 letters of this word, which is normally
Exactly,
they don't.
yeah.
But basically, what it is, it's a completely wood fermenter.
Okay.
And so it's kind of more of a traditional fermenter. You know, I don't know if most people listening to the show have probably heard of New Belgium, La Folie,
Sure.
or Rodenbach, Grand Cru, Rodenbach, regular Rodenbach Alexander. But it's a more traditional fermenter before stainless steel technology was really, I guess, invented and then revolutionized. But basically, they made them out of oak. You know, obviously in Europe, you know, it's probably European oak and French oak. But in America, there's only one company that's making them called Foudre Crafters. They're based out of St. Louis, and they're making them out of all American oak from the southeast United States.
Okay.
And so that's what ours is. Ours is a 30-barrel all American oak Foudre. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. The guy that makes it, we met him at Craft Brewers Conference in Philadelphia this year, and he had a booth set up with basically the same size fermenter that we bought from him set there at his display. And we kind of chatted with him for a little bit. Apparently, he went to Brown University, or Brown College. I don't know what it's called.
Brown University in Rhode Island.
Yeah, he went there.
It's a place known for making fooders
Apparently, there now.
and hippies.
He graduated from there and was a violin maker. So he would do all the
that's
and bending for wood. And I guess you know, after he worked so long, he got to a point he wanted to retire. And I think, and maybe he did. I don't know the full story, but. And then he had a friend in St. Louis that wanted him to make a foudre, and they're like, "Do you think you can make it?" And he's like, "Well, is it made of wood?"
And
They're like,
yes.
"Yeah," and he's like, "Well, I can make it." He said the 4th one he made held water.
They should have hired him to help make the Ark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've had beers before where 2 different versions have been aged in American versus French oak, and there's a very distinct difference. And I can't remember exactly what it is, but I remember thinking that I actually prefer the American, which might be contradictory to what a lot of people are saying. But so like, if you're making just foudres, is that still considered a cooperage? Isn't that who they?
Yeah, I think he would still be a cooper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is that all he's making? Is he doesn't make actual like barrels? Like barrels or
He
anything
makes like egg-shaped foudres. He makes horizontal foudres. He makes vertical foudres like mine. He makes a lot of different things. You know, he's making everything for perennial, everything for side project.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got to be slammed.
Oh yeah, they're very busy. Okay. I remember when we talked to him, he said, "Hey man, you know, no rush. You know, we plan on doing this for 20 more years. You know, we'll get your foudre made."
Yeah.
And so I know that when we went to Upland had a 100-barrel foudre from Foudre Crafters and 260 barrels. Now they have a bunch of other manufacturers as well, because they have a whole fleet of foudres up there. Upland, they probably have more than 12 off the top of my head. I can't even count. But the Foudre Crafter ones, you know, they're all American oak, and they have like all stainless steel bands. They're beautiful. Most of the ones you see out there, you know, kind of like a wine or a bourbon barrel, have like an aluminum band that keeps them in. It's not, you know, chemical resistant over time. You know, like a stainless steel would be.
Now these are obviously much larger than just like an oak barrel, so I assume you can get a lot more use out of them than an oak barrel.
Yeah. So this one basically is 30 barrels, which is 900 gallons. Okay. 900 gallons of beer. Where, you know, most oak barrels are anywhere from 53. And then I can't think of it because everything else is in liters, and I'm not very good at calculating in my head. But the largest barrel we have that's not a foudre is a 600 liter, which is basically equivalent to 3 bourbon barrels of volume. So we have 4 of those that are all sherry casks from Spain. And then we have 2 other sherry casks that are slightly smaller than those at 500 liters. And then we have a couple 265 liter wine barrels, which are just look a little bit fatter than normal wine barrels that Upland traded us. Okay. And that's one thing that's also interesting about the Upland collab is we kind of traded bourbon barrels, and so basically, you know, some of their yeast and bacteria, that's their house yeast is in their barrels, and they gave it to us, and we put our beer in their barrels, and we gave them our barrels. So we basically have another collaboration set up for the future.
There you go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's true collaboration.
That's the old barrel swap.
We'll take a short break.
Okay, take a short break. Welcome back to COCBLOK, the coalition of craft beer lovers of Kentucky on 93.9 FM WLXU. I'm Matt.
I'm Jeff.
And we are returning here with Evan Coppage from Country Boy Brewing, talking about collabs and sours and foudres, not drinkers, and Upland and bathrooms and Georgetown facilities, a little bit of everything. And you guys had a beer release not too long ago. I guess was it last
Saturday,
week?
right?
Was it last week?
Was it last
Pepper
Saturday?
Beer?
It was Saturday, yeah. So we released our jalapeno smoked porter for the year.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. For some reason, I thought you were gonna have bottles too, but it was just the draft.
I think we may bottle. I mean, I'm just the head brewer. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think
they don't tell you what's going on over there, do they?
I think we may bottle.
They keep you like in chains and shackles, like make the beer.
But we may bottle the last batch we do. Okay. A lot of it all depends on the pepper crop we get, because we try to keep the pepper growth under control, under our control, because we tried to buy peppers from different stores or like groceries or something like that, and they taste like bell peppers instead of jalapenos.
Yeah.
They're so very invariable.
It's hard.
So now
and they
we
look
try
the exact same too.
Yeah.
Well, I like pepper beers because it diverges from a lot of what is, I don't want to say I'm tired of everything, but everybody's got an IPA, everyone's got a stout and a pour and stuff like that. No one really ever makes pepper beer, so it's kind of fun to introduce a new dynamic, into my beer repertoire. So I'll buy a nacho bait every once in a while. I think that's a good lighter beer, reasonably priced, and it's got a lot of heat to it, and it's fun to diverge from the hoppies and the stouts and stuff like that. But this one, you all made 4 different variations of this porter. You got the jalapeno, which is the classic. Mm-hmm. You got the what were the other 3?
I think we did habaneros. I think we did Trinidad Scorpion or Ghost Chili. Because they're very similar. They're all like cousins of each other.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think the last one is a new pepper. It's called Carolina Reaper.
And this is I googled it. This is literally the hottest pepper in the world right now. Currently, I'm sure somebody will.
They're all trying to one up each other.
Manufacture something from like a nuclear warhead. They'll be like, hey, there's some capsaicin in there, so we'll call this a pepper. Yeah. But I tried. Did you get to try any of those, Jeff?
I am not a pepper beer guy. Just don't like them.
I've always enjoyed the jalapeno porter, the habanero, and then the Trinidad Scorpion. They were all like incrementally hotter than the first one, and all very palatable. I could finish a bottle by myself. That Reaper beer, it like literally almost spontaneously combusted. I took one drink of it, and my entire mouth was like coated in fire. And I was telling you earlier, I did finish it, and I was proud. And I walked up to the bar. I was like, "Do I get a prize for finishing this?" But it was like, I mean, it was borderline unbearable. It was so hot, and I'm sure there's some guys that are gonna, get their kicks off of this one. But that day, I had you all had a food truck out. It was like some barbecue thing or whatever. I had jalapeno nachos, and then I had jalapeno habanero, blah blah blah, pepper Reaper beer. Yeah, and then we went to Joella's and I had hot chicken, and then I finished
That
the
morning
night.
after,
I
right?
finished the night with Taco Bell on top of that.
Yeah.
So the next day, it's like I woke up and was like, I had to poop, and everything was fine. And then like an hour later, it was like, oh, apparently I'm not done, and it was just like,
I call that part 2.
yeah, that was like
fire.
That was like part 2 through 5 for me.
Yeah.
That was bad, and it burned. It burned.
Fire below, baby.
It burned so bad. Now I'm glad I got to try it. I'll probably never drink that Carolina Reaper again, but all the other ones were really good. I enjoy those, and I'm kind of sad. I thought you had tried it.
I just don't dig. I like chili. I like heat. I just don't like it in my beer.
Did you hear that accent just come out?
I like heat.
I like heat.
I like. Every now and then I gotta pretend like I'm one of you guys. I'm from Lexington.
That's the Florida coming out.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm carpetbagging Lexington.
So how much of that pepper beer stuff did you all make? Is it still on top right now?
I haven't checked the tap room. I know it was on tap yesterday when I was in the tap room.
Okay.
I was pretty busy.
Is it hard to sell it after you do like a one-off kind of Saturday thing?
Well, I think on Saturday and Sunday they did 4-ounce samples.
Right.
Samples only in a flight, and so obviously it stretches the beer out a lot further. Our whole mindset with stuff like that is we'd rather have more people try less of the beer than less people try more of the beer.
Yeah.
You got to be a particular kind of customer to want to come in and drink something.
Of
like
course,
that. If it's not, if it's not just for the event.
Guys like me, yeah. Well,
There are some
definitely.
people that ask for howlers or growlers or some of them.
Oh, wow.
And, we just had to tell them come back on Monday or whatever.
It'll
it is.
still be
So I
there.
think some of them are still on. If not all of them are still on. I may be wrong, so don't kill me for that.
that's
Or
fine.
something like that. But so what we did is they're all the same base beer jalapeno smoked porter, and we just made. It would be like making different firkins or pin casks of them with additional peppers in that we let it age and basically permeate the capsaicin and that pepper flavor throughout that keg.
Yeah.
So they're all pretty much the same alcohol, the same everything, because they all come from jalapeno smoked porter, just different pepper additions in different amounts in different kegs. So they're the 3 that weren't the regular jalapeno were all basically a small batch variant. Is what it kind of.
I got you. Okay. How small batches were they?
They were either 7-gallon and 15-gallon. We either did a quarter barrel or half barrel.
Okay.
One of our guys in house, Keenan, Trevor, he does like all the flavor additions, flavor Fridays, and stuff like that. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm actually might go
And
back and try some.
he did multiple variations and experiments just to try to figure out what the heat levels he wanted. Because he made a whole first batch, and basically our taproom manager and the guy that gave us the peppers named Vinny, they both said two's not hot enough.
Now, do
Take it
you
up to
throw like
11.
whole peppers in there, or do you just like try to extract the oil, or
Generally, for that thing, they may have like chopped them up somehow so you get the inside.
You have to, you can't just throw the whole pepper. You're not going to get all that heat.
Yeah, well, that's actually what I'm curious. 'Cause,
Scrape the
it's kinda
insides out,
Is
scrape
it
the
considered
core.
a vegetable or whatever? Like,
Scrape
does it
the
ferment?
membrane.
If there were sugar
If
in
you
it,
threw it
it
in
would
there.
ferment out, but it'd probably be negligible amount.
It's
for
just
the
all oil for this one.
I mean, if you think that drinking those is bad, cutting the jalapenos up is bad.
I remember like years ago. I think the first jalapeno
we got
porter batch you made, you were like out in the tap room or something like that, and you got in your eyes.
The eyes is the least of your concern. I'll just say
I had
that.
to go into the bathroom
You
afterwards.
sit down to go to the bathroom for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
'Cause
I was already in the bathroom.
You just
for 2
don't know
days, so.
what gets in your cuticle.
That makes sense.
Don't do something else either.
Yeah.
It's
Like what, Jeff? Like, don't do what? I want you to elaborate.
Pick your nose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going with that. Oh, you're so G-rated.
Look, man. We need to know. I know it's hard to clean, but when is the peanut butter ever coming back? Never.
We may do a batch sometime. We don't have it on our radar right now.
Which one are you talking
It was
about?
a peanut butter porter.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate porter.
That was good.
time
We did.
ago.
That was
That was
early
years ago. Yeah.
days, man.
We used this stuff called like PB2, which is kind of like
Oh, it's the powder.
It's like a
That's what
oil. We
everybody
use that for
uses
that.
now.
And we don't really like. I mean, we don't. The reason we don't make that anymore is because one of our big things is we want to use all real ingredients.
Yeah.
Our jalapenos are real jalapenos. All our peppers are real peppers.
Yeah.
My wife eats that PB2 like it's candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
She loves it.
It's like made for cooking, and
She
she's
loves
like,
it. Yeah,
she'll
she's
shovel it in.
what is that? It's
You could
powdered
probably make
peanut
some
butter.
mix it in milk or something like that. So you actually through
Bourbon.
real
You can
peanut
put
butter.
bourbon. You should put it in bourbon.
Well, we did not for that. That's why we haven't made it again. We used that PB2
I
stuff,
see, okay.
which is, I mean, it's all, none of it's like synthetic, but it's kind of like,
I thought it was
pre-processed.
also
like an
just
extract.
difficult to clean up afterwards.
Well,
Well,
a
the
lot of
powder
things.
should
A lot of
be.
things. It's an oil-based compound anyway. It doesn't want to stay in solution or go into solution. So it's kind of annoying when you're trying to boil it. It keeps boiling over and doesn't really stay in. And then once you finish it in the keg, like it's a lot of sediment that goes to the bottom. Even if you try to clear it out, and then then you have to flip the keg. Leave the kegs flipped upside down when you serve them. Flip back upright. And like that. If you have, it's hard to tell all your bartenders who are changing your kegs, hey, I need you to be able to lift 140 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We got a lot of exciting things, a lot of sour things, and I think I read somewhere you guys are going to have some free brats on Thursday or something like that too.
On Thursday, Lucky's did something where they basically made and basted a bunch of brats in a couple different of our brands, and they've given us to serve on Thursday.
That's awesome. I'll be there. Check
Is that
out
at a certain time on Thursday?
Normally events like that, I
5?
don't know.
something.
Maybe
It's
5.
normally 4 or
Yeah.
5.
I don't think it even ever posted
checking,
like day of.
checking Country Boy's Facebook's probably the best way to get the right
Yeah,
time.
check out Country Boy Facebook page.
And there's something else coming up?
Yeah, that's right. On October 1st, we have basically our fall bazaar, autumn bazaar in our warehouse, which is right across the street from our tap room.
Nice.
That's
It's
a lot
kind of
of
like
fun.
it's kind of like a woodland art show, but it's all local artists.
Yeah, I went last year. It was
And
great.
and none of them are $4,000 paintings that you have to have.
Yeah, nice. Only $3,500.
It's some affordable stuff and local artists.
Cool. Good deal. We'll check out Country Boys
I know.
on Facebook page.
I know.
for
Last
that.
year, John King had his stuff there.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a lot more than his stuff. He
yeah.
I think imbibed a little too much of that night. He got banned from West 6 later that night.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're like, get out.
Good deal.
You're cut off. So, well, I think we've said a lot. Maybe too much.
If
And-
Howard Stern ever hears this show in our broad 50-person audience, we're gonna get sued so hard.
No, we're not. It's all tribute, baby.
Whatever.
Until you just said his name.
Until I just now
Thanks,
we're gonna
thanks.
get
Now
sued.
the
Yeah.
cat's out of the bag.
They got like these crawlers on the internet.
Yeah.
Somebody say your name on the radio.
They do Google alerts, probably.
I'm sure. Anyways,
So, this is COCBLOK, the coalition of craft beer lovers of Kentucky, of our very, very, very special guest, Evan Coppage, from Country Boy Brewing, one of Lexington's first craft breweries, not counting the big conglomerate to be. And this is 93.9 in Lexington, Kentucky, and let's just have some music.